All right. Okay, so meeting recording is now happening. Okay. I'm just gonna move around here. Right next to it is Jerry Davis's abstract painting. And we have Jenny Reed's watercolor, an enormous watercolor. It's like a full sheet. And we've got Lucy Quinn in the corner with one of hers. I'll just zoom in a bit. Okay. And please let me know if you want me to go back in any direction. I can do that too. And this is Louise Scott Bushell's painting called Hamish, and it's quite large. I want to make a point that on the website, all these images are so small, and if a painting is tall and narrow or short and fat, you don't really appreciate it when it's online, but it's such a different thing to see it in person. So I hope you'll agree. Let me just move the tripod a bit. We have our sheep. Okay. And right next to it is another sheep painting. This is Lucy Quinn's as well. Okay. And it's called A Time for Rest. And the painting that I haven't been able to hang yet from Carol Finn has wolves as the subject matter, I guess dying wolves. And we thought for a sense of humor, it'd be fun to have the wolf painting next to the sheep painting, but that hasn't happened. But what we do have is Rick's piece here. Rick, can you hear me? Not sure if you can hear me, Rick. Yeah, did you want to talk about this for a moment? Because it's
called Elvis Strick. Elvis Strick is Norwegian for river rapids. It's a river called it's a long name. Anyway, it's right near Lillehammer in Norway. And the entire river, you can stop every 50 yards and there's something incredibly dramatic to see. So that was one of our stops.
Yeah, it works beautifully. It really
Thanks.
does. Okay, and on the wall next to it, I believe this is Derry's painting. Just a moment. Hold on just a moment. I have to see if I have to let anyone else in. Oh, I have a few to admit. Okay. We have Lucy joining us and Dina joining us as well. So I might go back a bit and have Lucy talk about her painting when she comes in. She should be arriving in a moment. So this is Derry's painting. Let me just grab the title for it. This is called Whispers Echoed Through the Cedars, This Way Home. That's the title of it, that landscape. And Francoise is here as well. She's busy with someone in the front of the gallery, but I might have her come back and chat with us for a moment. This one is called Gossiping. Great. And next to it, we have another one from Derry. This one is called Grief. And I don't know if Derry is here yet. Just a moment, just have to double check. Lucy, if you're able to come on, would you like to talk about one of the paintings we have on the wall here? I don't know if you're able to check in with us where you are, but we have this one from you. Okay. You're probably still on mute. Just a moment. See if I can get you to unmute.
I'm here. It looks great.
Oh, great,
Thank
great.
you.
Lucy, great. Okay, here's one of your paintings. Can you tell us where the setting is for this one?
Wait a second, because I cannot hear you.
Okay.
Sorry, I cannot hear you.
Where was this painting set? Or what
Oh,
was the
that
inspiration for it?
is from a trip to British Columbia.
Ah, okay.
I went to Nelson. Nelson is in the middle of the mountains, and Kootenay Lake is beautiful there.
It is wonderful. Terrific.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
I'm going to
you.
move to, you're welcome. I'm going to move to another room now. So bear with me. This tripod will be jumping around a bit. Okay. I'm moving out to the main hall, and I'm going to step back. You can probably see the entrance of the gallery now. I'm just going to turn around. And we have this wonderful piece here. Let me settle the tripod and I'll reduce that a bit. Now I'm just going to go up and see it. This one's called Catching the Rays by Karen Saunders Hurley. And it has wonderful impact, especially if you're just entering the gallery and this is the first thing you'd see looking straight ahead. And then to the right, we have two small still lifes. These are from Margaret Samponia, and one is called Vanishing Shore. The other one is called Message in a Bottle, right here. Now I'm going to twist a bit. I'm going to step back. You really need to step back to get the impact of some of these wonderful paintings. So the large one in front of us is from Margaret Stowicki, and I'll just run up to get the title. Hold on. It's called, this one's called Journey 12. You can see the figures in the bottom right. And we paired it with, on the left, two maritime paintings from Ted Missioner, who's in St. Andrews by the Sea in New Brunswick. And we've really found that the blue in these paintings fit perfectly with the blues here, and the sea theme, plus the orange in Ted's paintings really pick up the orange in Margaret's painting. And then we have this dynamic piece from Arpad here. Let me just jump up to get the title. So Arpad Toplak, it's United Colors of Love as well. Now I'm going to turn the iPad around. Okay, direction front. We have Steve Wilson's painting. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Steve, I know you're with us now. Would you have a chance to tell us the story behind this one?
Yeah, it's just this social commentary piece on basically, it's called Someday, and it's basically regarding what we're hoping for someday. If you read the tombstones, you have racism. They're all different social issues that we're dealing with, and hopefully someday they'll all be buried.
Hmm. So just to the left of Steve's is one of my still lifes, which I completed over the summer. And I was in an antique shop in Halliburton, and I found this lantern that was imported from Britain. It was supposed to be from a navigation light from a boat. And then the other elements, I have a rope in my still life that was really one of my dog's toys. So that gave me an incentive to work very quickly. A pheasant's feather from where we are, tiny binoculars, a wedding ring, and a Bible. And I called this one Lost at Sea. I was trying to pick up on the maritime theme. And to the left, we have one from Jenny Reed, Fall Tapestry. And Jenny, I'm not sure if you're here. I see your husband in the picture, but I'm not sure if Jenny is here to give us a briefing on it. If not, we'll do this another time.
No, she's out painting.
Oh, okay.
All I can tell you is that this is an encaustic. You'd need her to tell you more about it.
Okay. We'll get some more commentary another time. And I know we've seen Jenny's other large watercolor in the boardroom, but you're right, this is encaustic. Right next to it is Antier's as well. I don't think Antier is with us this afternoon. This one's called Burning News. And let me just check the medium as well. It's mixed media on cradled wood. So we thought everything worked well on this wall. Orange and reds. I have orange and red. And of course, Steve's work here. And Lyndon, I think you might be here today. Oh, Lyndon, let's see if I can zoom out a bit for you. And I'll just read the title. It's called Undercover. Are you able to tell us a bit about the painting?
It's a scene from the Bruce Trail. And up in the trees, you'll see a barred owl. He's just kind of sitting up in there. You see him? Right straight ahead.
Straight ahead. Oh, yes. Now I can focus on it. There he is. There he is.
Just kind of surveying his domain.
Yeah. Wow. Wonderful. And I really feel privileged being able to see these things at full size. As I said earlier, you just don't get a sense of a painting from a photo online. So this is such a world of difference. It really is.
Thank you.
I'm going to move into one of the other rooms now. Okay. This is almost our still life room, but not quite. I'll introduce these paintings as well. I just want to make sure there's no one else who needs to jump in. I think we're all here. Okay. So this is the first of 3 still lifes from Wendy Carmichael Bald in Burlington. It's called Still Lifes with Pairs of Pears. And that is painted in oil. It's 18 inches by 24. And to the left of it, we have one from Sandra Murphy in Aurora. She calls this one Shoe In. And to the right of it, a still life from Anka Dimoff in London, Ontario. And right next to it, another still life, Margaret Samponia. This is the one that won honorable mention. Oops, sorry. Honorable mention, Mandarins on Parade. And the gold frame is just beautiful, really complements the painting. And then I have one of mine to the left here. What did I call this one? Pewter Mug and Green Apple. This was an ala prima exercise I did last winter. And I was with a group of painters out of New York City, and we challenge ourselves during the week to do a still life in an afternoon. And then we send images on a Friday morning, and then we spend an afternoon critiquing each other's works. So I think the challenge in this one was to take a metal object and try and find ways to reflect the environment and render that object. So I found this really dull mug I've been wanting to paint for years and years. Now, let's go in this corner. Here, I believe this is Bev Morgan's watercolor. This one is called Snack Time, and it's 26 inches by 20 inches. And it might be a little bit of reflection from the glass, but it's showing quite well. And to the right is one of mine. This is a still life that I did this summer. And the inspiration behind this was that I used to play piano and I used to practice quite a bit. And then neighbors next door complained that I was practicing too early on a weekend. And they left a nasty voicemail saying, "Do not play. Don't you know what neighborhood you're in? You do not play at 8:30 on a Sunday morning." And that really ticked me off. So when I found this post horn, I decided to see if I could do a trompe l'oeil with music notes and a few other signs. And this also grew out of my still life exercise with the group in New York. The idea was to take something shiny and create a trompe-l'oeil effect, concentrating on the shadows that are cast as well. So that was a good challenge. Now, whoops, sorry, right next to mine is Dina's drawing. And Dina, I think you're here this afternoon. Could you tell us a bit about your drawing?
Same as every other work, it's analytical composition. It's created sort of by itself, and then all the figures are formed. You have to look up close and find all the figures if you're interested.
Let me try zooming in a bit. That is wonderfully complex.
Yeah, yeah, it takes a long time to look, and you're supposed to get lost in it.
I am. I can't imagine how you plan this as well. Do you begin with a sketch and then decide what
It's
will be?
based on a bunch of sketches because I do sketches like live drawing and stuff, but
Wow.
mostly it's, like I said, it's done analytically. It started with just elements, and then those elements naturally form into the figures, and then
See.
from the figures you get the story. It's called figured out, meaning
Figure it out. Yes.
yeah, everything is figures. It looks like there is some kind of background, but everything is part of a figure. It's only
Yeah,
figures.
and I can see how the figures are broken, or the forms are broken down into smaller and
Yeah,
smaller.
they're all intertwined. They're part of each other. It's not just speckled background. It's all intertwined figures.
Great, thank you. Let me just turn the tripod around. So in the corner of this room, we have another still life from Wendy. This one's called Picture Perfect. And then to the right, another one from Wendy. This is A Taste of Honey. They're both beautifully framed. Nicole Dolson in Burlington did this one. We have two others of Nicole's here in the exhibition. This one's called Traditional Beauty Raku. And she told me what the writing means, but in Japanese, but I can't remember, unfortunately. I was hoping she might be here today, but we'll get the story another time. Okay, well, that's it for this room. I'll just migrate to the next one. Okay, so here's another nice room. Yeah, there are four exhibition rooms in the gallery, and then a few, then the large hallway, and then a good display window in the front. This one is from Sharon McDonald, and it's called High Park Cypress. And I believe that's oil. Okay, and to the right, this is King Rock from Nicole Dolson in Burlington. Let me zoom in a bit. Okay, and then to the left, we have a landscape. And this is called The Path from Richard Zajac in Elmira. And then to the left, another one from Dina. Could you talk about this one for a moment, Dina?
Pretty much the same as what I said about the other one. It's a drawing. It's started with random elements, but then it forms itself into a composition. This one's called Too Complicated. See, it's a figure that shows off, tries to fence itself off, saying that that's enough. This world is too complicated.
And what's the medium again? It's watercolor.
Yeah, the background is watercolor, but then it's done with pencil. It's just regular graphite drawing.
Did you begin with the graphite and then add washes?
No. It's random elements, random painting, completely chaotic. But then it forms itself into a drawing that's organized, and there is a figure, and there is faces, and everything else.
I see. Well, I'm just going to turn the tripod again, and Dina, if you stay with us.
Sure.
Here is one of yours that earned honorable mention too. Here we go.
Well, I guess because it's very up to date. It's called self-isolation. So as you see a bunch of faces, each of them existing in its own, within its own panel, within its own plane, and they do not even, like, they barely intersect.
I see. Okay, and I'm going to turn to the left. We have a piece from Entier in Ripley, Ontario. It's called Balance, and it's also mixed media. And to the left, we have a portrait. This is from Derry, Chilton Russell, from Elmwood in the Hanover area. And this is acrylics on canvas, this one. Okay. And then to the left is a hawk. It's the red-tailed, a view of the red-tailed hawk from Richard in Elmira. And the last one in this room to show you, I'm going to pull the tripod back a bit to show this a bit better. This is called Artist and Model by Robert Gary Pointer. And that's acrylic. Okay, so I've covered this room. Now I'm going to work my way into the hall. And Beth, we have two of yours on this wall. Let me just point first to this one. I don't know if your bandwidth is good enough to talk, strong enough to for you to be able to speak, but give it a try.
I will try. We actually have a new internet provider, so I'm hoping things will be much better.
Excellent.
The two small acrylics that are on that wall both have a similar theme, and it's about social isolation. This is the guy I've spent my social isolation with, both in this painting and the other one. And this is where I live and paint. And I just started doing acrylics. I'm mostly known as a pastel artist. And yeah.
Okay, now Beth, hold on a moment. I'm going to flick on some lights. I just realized I haven't been giving everyone the benefit of the track lighting in the gallery here. It might make a huge difference, although more shadows are cast. So I now have the track lighting on. Beth, while you're with us, I'm just going to scoot over to your other painting here.
Yeah, so both of them solitary figures in isolation, although I'm there too, following behind in my kayak. And yeah, and my third piece, which you'll see later, is kind of the flip side of isolation. It's called Freedom, and it's about getting out of our isolation and hopefully back to some sort of normalcy. Although I'd really been hoping I could be with everybody today in the gallery, as I know everyone else was. But so these are my isolation paintings.
The water seems very calm where you are. Maybe it's just the timing.
First, early in the day, it's always very calm. Late in the day, it's Whitecap City. So it all depends.
Here we have a piece called Lake Rockwood from Richard in Elmira as well. So as you can see, just as in this grouping, we just thought these were wonderful combinations, similar sizes, similar colors, and they just went so well together. Now, hold on a moment. There's a door open to the basement that shouldn't be open, so I'm just going to close it. Okay, I'm going to twist this over. We have an oil painting from Louise Scott Bushell. This is called Seasonal Miracles. And just to give you a sense of bearings, we're in halfway through the gallery, and we just found this wonderful wall for it. And then to the left is another one from Louise. This is called Sunlit of the Lily. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to move into another room now. Hold on. Might be a bumpy ride, and then I'll come back out to the hallway to finish up. Okay. Let me just jump to the painting here from Jennifer Kai that won first place. See if I can reduce my camera so you can see more of the painting at once. Okay. And Jennifer lives in Dryden, up north. And Francoise, who's here today, painted these two of the swallows, Swallow 1 and Swallow 2. We get Swallow 2 on the left. And the companion piece is over here. So she's with someone now, but I can ask her to talk about her painting when I bump into her again in a moment. Oops. Okay, Lucy, if you're still with us, we have one of yours right here.
Yeah, I'm
Can
still
you-
here.
Good, good. This is called Stories to Tell.
Yeah, that painting is a barn that I saw, and I like the shadows. I like old barns and farms, and this one I just cropped the barn because I found very interesting the reflection on the window. You can see something in the front and another building, but also you can see, so that is outside, but also you can see on the corner there is a shovel. You can see the handle of the shovel. So it's the interaction between outside and inside that caught my attention on that one.
See, great.
Mhm.
Great. Now I know Louise has just joined us. Louise, I'll come back to your paintings when I move back out into the hall, but I'll just finish up in this room. I want to jump to Beth, since I know you are with us today. And this is this is pastel painting behind glass. So could you tell us a bit about it?
Well, as I said, the title's Freedom, and it's about getting away from it all. That's actually Highway 6, near where I live, between Espanola and Little Current. And I painted it in a much looser style than I usually use for pastel because of the subject matter. I think you'd have to go online to really see it because of the glass. I think it's kind of hard to see there.
It's hard to avoid the reflection.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure that one. I mustn't have museum glass, although some of my paintings do. But if you shine a light even on museum glass, you might get that too.
That's true. That's true. Before I move on, I just need to check the list of people here. Okay. To my left, I have a watercolor still life from Leanne Bedard. It's 12 inches by 12 inches. Now, I've always loved the perspective she chooses, looking down at a table of objects and the shadows that are cast by the light. One. This one is called Crayon Bowl. And if I just jump back to the first one to get the title, it's called Vase Left Behind. So we thought in this room, the grouping worked really well, just in terms of the colors. Even though the mediums are different, they're all matted, they're all framed, similar sizes, but the colors just worked so beautifully together. And the final one in this room is from Nicole Dolson in Burlington. This one's called A Part of Me, with the trumpet as well. So it's a wonderful room. Let me just do a quick sweep again. I should be doing this for all the rooms so you can remember. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to move into the front hall. And Denise, I know you're with us today.
Hi.
Hi.
This one is called Almost Tea Time, and the sort of Asian cups and little teapot there, or kettle, are representing sort of a Chinese tea ceremony that would be held on a wedding day of a young couple, and it's meant to unite the two families. And the little butterfly I added as a symbol of immortality and conjugal bliss.
And I see faces in the teacups. Are they famous people?
No, the teacups, funny enough, are when my elderly aunt passed away in Ireland, I had to go and clean out her her home, and I found those. I don't know how she ever came across those in Ireland, but I brought them home with me and I just love them. They're beautiful, delicate cups.
Yes. I'm going to jump over now to your other one here, your other pastel.
Yeah, this one is, as you said, also pastel. It's called the 5 Elements, and it's based on the feng shui belief that earth and everything in it is composed of 5 basic elements. So water, which is represented by the shell, the earth, which is the sand, wood, the lantern, fire, and metal. And the idea is that the water nourishes the wood feeds the fire burns to make earth, and then from the earth comes metal. So it's sort of encompassing all the 5 elements.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm just going to step back for a moment, and we have some guests who've just arrived. Just a moment. Be right with you. I'll just turn the camera back a bit. Just a minute. All right, please have a look around. Just broadcasting to some other artists. Please feel free to walk around. Okay. I'm going to jump back to the hallway in a moment. Let me just do another quick survey before I move to the front. Okay, just so you can get an overview again. That's that hallway. I know a few of you took a tour of the gallery when you were just dropping off your work, but it's so transformed. Let me just zoom in a bit. Again, just a quick overview. Hello, guests.
Hi.
Hi. We just have to do the front, the very front of the gallery. And would you be able to tell us a bit about your swallow paintings? We can keep them off. I think we'll just keep a distance. And we have some guests at the front as well. Okay. So we'll let them pass us.
Oh, they're friends of mine, actually. But
oh, good. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go into the small room.
okay.
It's wonderful to have visitors coming in while we're doing this. It's great. So,
Perfect. I'm just going to call the second button. Enjoy.
Great. Okay, here we are, recording at Swallow 2. So, how about I'll pull this back and you can tell us a bit.
There's a lovely park beside the lake in Toronto, in Etobicoke, that has this whole field full of houses for swallows. I don't know what you call them. And so because there's so many of them, they're used to people, you can get really close to them. And I was able to take a photograph really close and get to more details. And so that's, yeah.
And the same with this one as well, the same
so
location.
Just 2 different, one more like, I don't know if it's a baby, but all fluffy, and the other one looking.
That's wonderful. Okay, thank you very much. We'll just finish up in a moment. Now, Rosalind Levin has one also in the hallway here. I'm just going to try and focus a little bit. And I wish she were here today so she could explain the medium to us. I think, Dina, you have a good idea. It's Sumi-E Japanese washi mounted on birch panel. And I know there's a major technique involved in this medium. And I know the stamp has some importance as well for certifying the approach. Okay, let me step away. I'm going to the front of the gallery now. You can see a little bit of the neighborhood in central Toronto. Now we're in the reception area, and if I turn the iPad a bit, you'll see a view down the hallway and the large painting on the feature wall. Sam, Steve, we have your Sam the Record Man painting. Let me move the camera in front of it as well. Do you want to tell us a bit about it?
Not much to tell about. It's just I took a lot of reference photos throughout my life, and this was one that I wanted to do. I had a little bit of fun with it. Instead of Coca-Cola advertising. I figured they're not paying me any royalties, so I might as well advertise myself in the sign.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so basically it's just the old sign. I love the neon, and those two neon signs now are been remounted, I think, at Dundas and close to Young.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I cannot remember what year it was that the signs came down and that corner was redeveloped. Is it 15 years ago or so?
Oh, it's got to be around then, yeah. Yeah, and they just put those two signs back up, what, about 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was.
It was certainly a landmark, and I remember as a teenager making the trip in from Waterloo just to go there to see what was in the record collection. So it's a wonderful landmark that you've captured here. Great.
Thanks.
And the other painting in this area is Irina's as well, is Irina's. Irina Valentin, who's the owner of Art of Emotions Gallery. This one's called Deep Purple. Okay, I'm going to step back. And we have 3 still lifes from Nancy Calder, and I can't get any closer to them. If I just give you a sense of dimensions here, we have some benches in front, but there's really not enough room for the tripod. But the one on my left is the one that won second prize in our exhibition. And I know she has a good story about her hat paintings, her series of hat paintings, but we'll have to save that for another day. Okay. And folks, I think that completes our tour of the show. I'm glad you had a chance to log in and see this, and I'll be posting a link to this recording so we can share it with other artists who didn't have a chance to log in this afternoon. It was very short notice, but I can tell you it was a lot of work putting this show together, but it does look amazing, and I wish you were here to see it.
Can I just add, Alan?
Sure, please.
Those of us that were there yesterday, what, 5 of us or so? That was a pretty good tour. Those spanning around, that's pretty good. But I'll tell you, the show really looks great.
Yeah,
we're actually right there. So for anybody who get a chance to get down there and have a look, yeah,
please
do. It's
and
worth.
Rick, of course, I forgot your painting as well.
Yeah. That one's called Chamber Entrance. It's the entrance to the Chamber of Commerce in the back of the old courthouse here in town. The whole reason for the painting is the junction of pieces of buildings and architectural bits and the iron stair rail and the fact the entrance was down low. And yeah, I've been looking at that for a few years now, and I thought, no, finally I just got to do it. So there it is. It was
Well
fun.
done, and the frame is beautiful too. It's quite amazing.
Anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
it's really worth going down to for anyone to go and see the show.
Yeah, I agree. There's just no comparing this to the online version. You just don't get a sense of the dimensions and the brushwork or the color too. So I'm very glad we've had this chance to do this. And I guess that's it for now. Thanks for joining us. I'll post this link later on, and we can share it with our friends and our artists and try and persuade people to come and see it. It's up until September 30th, and it's open daily from 11 until 4 p.m. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you all again soon in person, I hope. Take care. Bye-bye.